Hello and welcome to the TCF Morning Show. It is Thursday, January 23rd. It is the end of the week for us. Like I said, we're going to kind of stick to the 4 shows a week with maybe we'll do an extra one next week for the Super Bowl, but for the next few months here with the minimal sports action. We'll be doing the strict 4, and we're also going to be looking to do a few live shows here in the next few months, so be on the lookout for that. But tonight I am joined by Mitch Prentice. You can follow him on Twitter at Mitch R. Prentice, and also Boomy. Follow him on Twitter at BoomyTCF. You can follow me at ZLilja, LILJATCF. The main page is at typical_Chicago. Instagram, Facebook is Typical Chicago Fans. YouTube, go to YouTube, type in Typical Chicago Fans, subscribe on there, watch our videos, comment, like, let us know what you think. Wherever you get your podcast from, Apple, Spotify, Spreaker, go there, type in Typical Chicago Fans, subscribe, rate, review, follow us if you're going on Spotify. Like I said, if you're on Apple, subscribe, rate, review, subscribe, no, unsubscribe, resubscribe, give us a 5-star rating, let us know what you think. Also, thank you to our sponsor. I think a guy here knows one of our sponsors, the Muddy Otter. If you want to check out the Muddy Otter, go to.
Oh, hey, mate! I had a request from you guys.
Okay.
You need some T-shirts because one of our loyal fans, Egoy, loves your logo, loves the brand name. You need shirts. He said, "I got to try." I don't think they got merch yet.
I saw Egoy went live the other day.
Yeah,
Went live.
but he's a big fan of the Muddy Otter name. And the logo.
I do like that logo.
Yeah, no, it's something that we're planning on doing more this year. You know, last year was the founding year, kind of getting our feet in the ground kind of thing, and this year's expansion year for sure.
Right.
So I will definitely keep that in mind.
I can see that logo on a crew neck. It would look beautiful. But what Mitch just sent out of was something you can look and you can find on themuddyotter.com. Go on there, look at all their products. Go to their Facebook and Instagram page, check it out. Mitch does a beautiful job, him and Hannah. Also, our sponsor, Score Trader. In the next few days here, we're going to be in contact with Owen. We're going to have him on the show. He's going to do a little ad read for us. We're going to do a little interview with him. We'll get more into it. Like I said, we're switching from football to politics here for a little bit. The Iowa caucus is what I've heard.
There you go.
So that's what
Nailed
we'll be
it.
going over. It's going to be kind of, I don't know. I think, Mitch, you might be into politics. I don't know. But Boomy, I know for sure.
I'm following it pretty
so this
closely.
it's an app. You go into the do you have an Apple product at all?
Well, I'm on an iPad right now.
You go to the Apple Store, type in Score Trader. It's download the app. It's usually football is what it started off as, but it's the Iowa caucus. You'll be like buying and selling candidates like it's a stock. So maybe Boomy can get more into it.
It's kind of like if you've ever heard of Predict It. It's the stock market for politics. It's kind of a similar model, so it'll be really cool. I can't wait to get in.
I'm thinking there's going to be some money involved in some prizes here, so that'll be exciting. But so maybe Mitch, maybe you can download that after the show, get involved in that because it's free to play. Even especially next year during football season, it's going to be ramped up. They gave away about $500 worth of cash for the first week, and they just kept it moving. We actually ended up winning $50 on it. So like I said, go to the Apple Store, type in Score Trader, download the app. We'll get more into the politics part of it in the next Monday. We'll definitely have something for you. But like I said, go to the app, go to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, go to Score Trader, follow them on there. Boys, how are we doing today? It's Thursday. We're about here at the end of the week. Have we all had a good week?
Yeah, short week for me. Well, I'm halfway through the week already. Only 2 more days left, so can't complain at all.
Yeah, same here. Thursday is actually the end of my week because I work. I do a Sunday to Thursday schedule.
What do you think of that? What are your thoughts on? Do you like it?
Well, I think if it was a normal Sunday to Thursday.
Oh yeah, it's at the newspaper.
Yeah, Sunday to Thursday. But I still cover events on the weekend anyway, so it ends up being like a 7-day week pretty much no matter what. But it just depends on what's going on, especially in the summer here at the lake because it's a whole different world down here when it's.
Well, I see you do football. Right, football's Friday nights or Saturday mornings or afternoons or stuff. So that's kind of working on your off day. Yeah. But like I said, we're coming up here on the end of the week. Our first week of it's a taste of no football. Yes, we have the Pro Bowl, but it's whatever. But sadly,
Who cares?
no, the Pro Bowl, it stinks. All I keep seeing from the Pro Bowl is last year.
The video that Mitch
Trubisky
came over a glass window.
It's just like, okay, that's enough. I already don't like the Pro Bowl.
I've watched that no less than 100 times this week.
Shut up.
Not even on purpose. Just like you said though, just scrolling through social media everywhere.
We get it.
I heard that they're going to be. I don't know if this is like official or not, but going to be testing out some rule changes at the Pro Bowl this year.
Ooh.
Oh.
Maybe I will watch.
I forgot to make it a subject. We're going to talk about it right before everything. This is the first thing. Boomy, did you see what the MLB did today? They will be using robot umps during spring training games.
Yeah.
Let's go.
There'll be an ump there to call the ball and strike per se, but they will be trying it out here in spring training. Through I don't know what games they're going to be doing, if it'll be all the games, but they will be trying it out this year. I know you've been a big guy, on the side of the robot ump guy.
Advocate, yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes, but that is going to stir up a lot of. I would say it's going to stir up a lot of controversy. I think there's going to be a lot around it. There's going to be a lot of people who are on the side of it, and also a lot of people on the other side of it, strongly on both sides. So I think it's going to be.
There should be nothing controversial about getting the call right.
No, but you know what I mean. There's going to be two sides to it, and they're both going to think they're very, very right about their side. That's just how baseball takes usually go. Like.
Well, I mean, it's going to go like this. I mean, when a bad call happens in the regular MLB umpire situation, the team that benefits from it doesn't care because it helped them, and the team
exactly
is the one who's pissed. So if you're evening the field, I just don't get the arguments against it.
Honestly, if we can take away from the 15-minute challenges, then I am fine with that. Honestly, I've got these. Or
the fact that at the end, or this was a couple weeks ago when we were out for your birthday, Zach, I had read a stat that they did a study and MLB umpires missed almost 35,000 balls and strike calls last year.
Insane.
That's absurd.
How do you?
Absurd. And if you have the technology, then use it.
I wonder how you figure that out.
I don't.
Like.
There's some nerd in the basement of the MLB, sitting literally watching games and with a box on the screen, and he's like, "Nope, that was wrong." Literally keeping 35,000 tallies worth of missed calls.
Awful. But
some poor intern.
As we were talking about football today, Eli Manning has retired, unfortunately. 16.
The most average quarterback.
Average quarterback with 2 Super Bowls. 2 Super Bowls, though.
Right.
One against...
Lifetime 117 and 117.
That is incredible. Average. That's crazy that he went...
The Jeff Fisher of quarterbacks.
Hey, Jeff Fisher's 10 wins away from being, second all time, so that's enough out of you, Boomy. But it's something that if you're a Giants fan, you almost want to see because he was not going to be a Giant next year, most likely. You didn't really want to see him on another team. If you're him, though, what else did you have to prove? Why would you want to go to another team, learn all the ways of their offense, and go through all that? It's your 16th season, 16 seasons, and you have 2 Super Bowls. You got all the money you need. Just get out with your health. You don't need to go through another season of hurting your body. Might as well it's not really right off into the sunset, but it could be worse.
Well, and Eli will, through his average win-loss, his pretty good, let's see, I'm looking at 366 and 244. That's is that an exact 3-2 TD to interception? That's interesting. Anyway.
Well, asking me and Zach to do math is a bad idea.
But, through it all, he beat Brady twice, and that's really all that matters. And I think that people always remember him as the Brady killer 2 times. Who else has ever done that? No one will ever do that because Brady's, who knows what's going to go on with him in the next couple of years. And that's his legacy. It's a pretty good legacy to have, quite honestly. And I liked him. I thought he was a good guy. The Manning brothers never really were all that offensive to me. So other than
they're 2 of the most vanilla human beings to ever live on this planet. But I guess for a quarterback position, that's not the worst thing. Your quarterback's not, not Big Ben being in the news for wrong reasons. And he did. He won 2 Super Bowls, and he had a very I'd say slightly above average career.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he is a Hall of Famer eventually, I think. So
yeah, I think so too.
And for a guy who played 16 seasons in New York, he stayed out of the bad part of the news.
Yeah.
He stayed out of the bad part of the news. He was always there was never anything that was going to get him in trouble. And in New York, playing for a New York team for 16 years, that is not usually happens. Usually does not happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mixing my words. I'm just looking at these stats, just as average as you can get with a lot of these stats.
Yeah.
Really though, really.
That is just
57,000 yards pre-DC.
Yeah. Wow. 1 year he was sacked 39 times. He was sacked 47 times last year in 18.
He hasn't had an offensive line in like
why would you
8 years.
After that you would just want to be
he was always that quarterback for me though that like even when he was at his best, he just never really stood out as one to remember. Like there's always better ones, you know. I don't think he was ever at the top.
No.
You know.
No, it wasn't. But he has the 2 Super Bowls. Most likely going to be in the Hall of Fame. And he had a good career. A good career, you could say.
A good career. Agreed.
Next thing we got here is there's been a lot of talk about the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. The players they're letting in the Hall of Fame. I'm kind of getting tired of the whole we're getting mad over why Derek Jeter didn't get unanimous. I don't think that really mattered that much. They were saying I'll
stir the pot a little bit, Zach. I'll drop this for anyone listening that wants to chime in. I don't think if Derek Jeter plays for any team other than the New York Yankees, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. If you look at his numbers, they were good. They were not great. But the fact that he played – I mean, you can make the argument he played very long in one of the hardest cities to play baseball. But if he plays that entire career in, Arizona, is he a Hall of Famer?
That's the problem. That's the problem, though. You can always say you'll never know. That's the thing. You'll just never know. And it's like is it Sam – who was the guy drafted before Michael Jordan?
Sam Bowie.
It was like if the team
and then Clyde Drexler. But
if it was the Hawks, right?
No, Sam Bowie went to Portland, and Clyde
Michael
Drexler
Jordan went to Portland, would he still have been Michael
Houston.
Jordan? It's like that's how it goes. Like it's if you went here, if you went there,
right.
I understand your argument. Not saying it's good. It's a good question, like you said, to stir the pot and just to kind of get people going on the whole Derek Jeter thing. But it's one of those questions that can never be answered, and unless you want to argue, I understand you do like to do that, Boomy, argue back and forth and with no end in sight. But that's really a argument that would kind of happen with that because there's no end to that.
How many? What did he end up with? Was it 5 World Series?
5 World Series. 5 World Series.
I mean,
he was like 4th or is he 5th all time in hits?
Well, I was looking at his hits are 34.65. That's a lot.
20
years. He ended with a career 310 average. I mean, that's pretty good.
I hate to be this guy, and I understand you look at a lot of the offense, but he was a very average shortstop at best. Like I don't think he was a very good shortstop.
Oh my God! I said the wrong name that went to Houston. It was Akeem Olajuwon. Why did I say Clyde Drexler?
But I think that's kind of overlooked is the whole, like, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter that much. You usually look at the offensive stats for a Hall of Famer anyways. But I know everyone looks at he dove into the bleacher or the stands to get that one
time. The play he made in Oakland.
Yeah, the one where they always use in all kind of commercials of him jumping and throwing that. Like, I don't know. He never came across as a guy who was like, this is gonna sound biased, like a Javi Baez or even a Nolan Arenado, like a third base or something like that. Now, like he didn't come across as a guy who you could always trust out there.
Yeah, he ended with a 72.4 WAR, which I thought was pretty high. I don't know. I mean, the dude. Here's my thing, though, right?
Teams.
Like. Definitely. And here's the thing. I would make the argument that, looking aside from offensive, defensive, whatever, the name.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that.
He was the captain in New York. He was one of the biggest the biggest team in baseball, pretty much.
For 20 years. I mean, that's a significant career to sustain such good numbers. I don't know. I think he's a Hall of Famer for sure. And I will say that, back to the early point you made about the not getting the unanimous decision, it is frustrating that it's just one vote.
Yeah.
It's just one vote.
Yeah.
That's got to just, I mean, that's...
Yeah, if it was like 3 or 4, no one would give a shit.
The best part is that a lot of crazy people thought former guest of the show, White Sox Dave Williams, was the one guy who did not vote for Derek Jeter. He was not, but a lot of Yankee fans were very mad. But my thing is, like, why get...
And White Sox Dave steers into that really well,
I thought
though.
it was hilarious because, I mean, he fooled people. Like, these people are idiots.
Oh, yeah.
White Sox Dave would have a Hall of Fame vote, like, and to just tell you, like, what is like, that's just... I understand he likes to, like you said, stir the pot a little bit, but that was just people being dumb. Think about it. But I have a question, and this is going off the Yankees kind of team. Who is a better player, better career, Derek Jeter or Alex Rodriguez? Because on one side, Derek Jeter, he was a great player. Like I say, he wasn't like hitting for power or anything, but never got caught up in the steroids or anything, and never got really in trouble in the. Like I said, Eli never got in trouble in the New York media. Derek Jeter never get in trouble in the New York media, staying out of it, always kind of being the pretty boy, but never like getting in trouble and all. So who do you guys say?
Yeah,
Alex Rodriguez.
Well, here let me read off a couple stats real quick. Derek Jeter, Rookie of the Year. A-Rod did not achieve that. They both had 14 All-Star votes. Is that right? Did A-Rod only have one World Series?
Yeah, he won one with the Yankees.
Yeah.
2009.
I'm going to go A-Rod. A-Rod hit almost hit 700 freaking home runs.
Yeah, that's the big difference.
2,000 RBI.
A-Rod is
Silver Sluggers.
way better than Derek Jeter. I don't think it's really close, honestly. Like, I guess I guess I shouldn't say that. I guess it's close. But I think Alex Rodriguez, at one of the points, was the best player in baseball. I don't think ever in Derek Jeter's career was he, like, the front-runner best player in baseball. I could be wrong. I didn't grow up at that time. I might sound stupid to some people, and people might say you're an idiot. But that's how I feel.
10 Silver Sluggers. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, A-Rod. I think A-Rod's a better shortstop than him.
Well, if you're looking at purely hardware, A-Rod only had 2 Golden Gloves. Derek had 5.
But that's because he got moved to third base, and that.
Yeah, I was gonna say if he didn't get moved to third, would it be different?
Here's a big one, right? A-Rod had 22 years. Jeter had 20. But listen to the WAR. Derek Jeter's WAR 72.4. A-Rod's 117.8.
Holy hell!
Yeah, that's big.
Dude, he is.
Wow.
He signed before these crazy contracts, 2 of the biggest contracts of all time in one career. Like, I understand the steroids and that, but he was one of the best players I've ever seen play baseball. Like, the way he could hit the ball.
I was already on the side of A-Rod, Mitch. That WAR comparison just puts the nail in
that ends it.
That's crazy.
And at some point, I hate to be this way. Like, I think Larry Walker had a good career. I don't really know much of his career, but he also was a guy who first year started off with 22% votes, and just somehow it started raising, and he's now in the Hall of Fame, which is good. Him and Derek Jeter are getting in this year, but Curt Schilling, a better player than Larry Walker. Barry Bonds, a better player than him. Like, it's the list of people who are. Like, at what point are we gonna start being like, what are we gonna get the best players in here, or are we gonna get the players that all these sports writers, all these people like? It's getting ridiculous. It's so stupid because, like, it's a Hall of Fame, and it's supposed to be this Hall of Fame that is so prestigious and this and that, but we don't have the best players in the sport in there right now.
Yeah.
And guess what? We cracked down on steroids, and then people started to figure out how to cheat in other ways. Like, yes, it's just
buzzers inside their uniform.
And the guy, I'm not saying anything against Bud Selig, but he was a part of the steroid era.
Yeah,
knew what was going on.
Come on. Don't act like MLB didn't know what the hell was going on.
Fame, which every commissioner gets. Yeah. But he's in the Hall of Fame, and these guys are sitting on the outside looking in. Like, the guy who benefited a lot off of it, the baseball that benefited off of these guys. Like, imagine without the Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, all that. Like, baseball would have been just boring.
The guys that are the reason that Bud Selig is in the Hall of Fame are not in the Hall of Fame.
Like I said, this is my second night in a row going off on a rant on it, but it's just starting to get ridiculous that it's still this way. Our last thing here before Boomy gets into his story, Coach Q returns to the UC, and I was telling the boys, NBC's Sports Chicago had the game last night, and everyone saw on Twitter the whole thing, what they did with Coach Q. Everyone gave him the standing ovation, but they went to commercial because it was a timeout or whatever. How does a NBC Sports Chicago, which is affiliated with the Blackhawks, work directly with the Blackhawks? How do you not work out this? One of the biggest moments in this whole season was Coach Q returning and getting the standing ovation, and we just don't even show the people at home that there were probably certain people watching just for this moment, and they didn't. Right. They apologize, and I understand mistakes are made, but how does this happen?
Well, how do you screw that up?
Screwed up. That's insane.
It's not like it was a surprise that he was like in the crowd, like just watching the game, like he was coaching the other freaking team. Like you knew what they were going to do. You couldn't just send an email and say, hey, at the 12-minute intermission, we're going to play this video. Like somebody screwed up somewhere.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, come on, it's too bad. I mean, and it was overall a really, besides the fact that the Hawks lost, it was a really nice night because they were able to commemorate.
Yeah,
it was, and they were able to commemorate the Kaner 1,000th point.
Yep.
And they Coach Q was able to be in the house for that, which was just they had a shot of him at the end of the Kaner ceremony. All smiles, man. I mean, you can just tell the love between Q and the Blackhawks is just still so strong. It makes me kind of sad, you know.
Yeah.
You see,
I wish it would have ended
after the game. They had a video of Coach Q meeting up with Duncan Keith and Patrick Kane and Jonathan Tays, and it just brought a tear to my eye. Like, this should still be at the team. This should still be, and he would love to still be here. Mitch, we found out he was 64 wins away from being the most winningest coach in Blackhawk history, and they fired him. Like, that's ridiculous.
2 seasons.
That's ridiculous. But
it's too
like
bad.
You said, it was a good game, though. The Panthers, that was their 6th straight win. The Blackhawks were on a 5-game win streak when they lost by a goal. It was a good competitive game. It just shows you that the Blackhawks are in the playoff. Yes, it's a game you want to win, but it's nice that they were down early. They got back in it. They stayed in it the whole game, and they made it an interesting game.
Would have been really nice to push it to overtime.
Did you see the last Kane goal, though? That he snuck it past the goal.
Yeah.
That was dirty.
That was nice.
And the NHL, they announced. I didn't actually see which one it was, but they announced they gave Kaner the goal of the decade.
Which one was it?
Did they really?
Was it that?
Yeah, I don't know which one it was.
He snuck in. That he was the only person that knew it went in.
Yeah, it's got to be that
one. It might have been. I don't know.
I remember that.
But man, the Blackhawks, they're getting that hard.
He's going crazy, and the whole even the players are like.
No one in the arena was like,
"Gosh, I miss those Blackhawks days. Oh, that was so much fun." Like I said, that's what last night brought back the memories was of all the Coach Q wins and all the Stanley Cups and all the fun moments those teams had. Like, even if we won like a Stanley Cup this year, you just wouldn't feel that same about Jeremy Colleton. I don't know if it's just me, but that's just how I feel. I feel like you'll never feel that way. He doesn't have the personality of Coach Q.
He was the man. I mean, he was just the guy. Everybody liked him, seemingly. He's a great coach on top of everything. I mean,
overall good guy. No reason to not think he wasn't a good guy. Boomy, do you have a wacky web story for us?
Do I have a web story? Yes, I have a web story. You guys heard recently in the news that there's like a really bad problem with the amount of bees in the world. The bee population is significantly down, and it's a major problem with all that bees do. But some assholes in Yuba City, California, are making it even worse. Authorities are investigating the theft of nearly 100 beehives from an orchard in Northern California. They use these beehives to pollinate orchards of different fruits and things that they grow there. And 92 hives went missing on Friday, worth about a value of $44,000. Who's out here stealing beehives?
Ooh.
That's
what
I can't even like logistically understand how that would work. Like
they said that it had to have been someone that brought a flatbed truck and loaded them onto there.
Have y'all ever seen actual beehives before?
No.
Yeah, my father-in-law is a amateur beekeeper.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have him on the podcast.
He makes his own money.
Interesting.
It's pretty fire.
There's a guy here, one of the cities of the Lake of the Ozarks, Eldon, Missouri. I interviewed a guy up there who does beekeeping for a living, and it is a fascinating thing.
It's wild.
I don't want to call it a hobby because even though a lot of them will claim that it's a hobby, it's so intensive. I mean, this guy had it was really interesting because he had 10 different hives, and they're all in 10 different locations, and the honeys tasted 10 different flavors because of what they pollinate.
No way.
Yep.
Super interesting. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Bee facts coming from the TCF morning show.
Big facts.
Big facts.
So yeah, it's sad enough, guys. Don't steal beehives if you're out there listening to this. Leave the bees alone.
You know what you don't want to do? You don't want to get into an area with a bunch of butterflies either.
That's true. You don't want to do that.
Mitch, are you still afraid of butterflies?
No, I mean, I don't know. I haven't really had much of an instance to confront
I think that one time that you actually got scared was maybe the only instance you were that close to them.
I mean, there were a lot
That's so scary. I honestly would freak out too, I think.
Yeah, you know, they're creepy little things.
Not a fan.
Tasting with their feet and everything.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
Anything post-show, boys?
Did you guys see the picture tip-off at the United Center?
No.
Tonight, the Bulls are up by 10 right now, but there is. If you get a chance when you're watching this, go take a look at it because it's at about 20% capacity.
Good. Like I said, I mean, it's not good.
And there is an arrest warrant out for Antonio Brown.
That's not good.
Yeah, the Bulls are only going to get better if they get worse.
Well, I think that's the only way that you'll get the notice of the front office or Jared Reinsdorf is take money out of their pockets for games because the people stop coming in. Then that's when you finally realize that people have given up on your so-called rebuild. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think it's such a brand thing nowadays. I mean, you look at the Cubs with the Marquee Network and everything, and I just feel like sports teams are even more than ever before. They just cling to that.
So annoying.
You know, attendance.
Yeah, but they have. I mean, I wonder how that always works out because there's two teams there. I wonder how the whole money revenue goes, but it's not a good look when you are one of the biggest. You play for you have a team in one of the biggest cities in the United States, and you can't get more than 20-30% of people there on a Wednesday night in Chicago. We can't get a bunch of people there. That's just crazy to me. Anything else post show, boys?
Yep. One more hot take. Not a hot take, but a hot question, I guess. Okay. I guess, Boomy, you might not have as much of an opinion on this, but Bears quarterback going into next season.
Jameis Winston.
No, hold on. Would you rather have Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, or Cam Newton?
Oh.
I'm riding with Jameis Winston. I think that he
What?
He's younger.
Zach's so enthralled with this Jameis one guy. He thinks he's a Hall of Famer now.
Hear me out. Cam Newton. Cam Newton's what? He's got to be close to 30. Some people forget.
Yeah, he's like 31 or
Jameis
32.
Winston's only 24 years old. And I understand,
Dude, he had a 30-30 season.
I understand, but that's horrible. That was also, I understand, yes, I may be taken over by the Jameis 1 of 1, but the Bruce Arians offense is, you go out there, he doesn't care if you go out there and throw all those interceptions. At least he was out. He had 30 touchdowns, though. I'll take the 30 touchdowns. And the 30, if the 30 interceptions
by saying
go
this,
with it.
then are you saying then by picking him that you're confident that he could lower that INT number while maintaining the touchdowns.
I think it would be fun to have an interesting quarterback like that.
Yeah.
At least have some fun with it. Let's see what happens. And also, I also think Mariota would be a good. Honestly, no, like Mariota got his job taken over by Tannehill. Like I feel like Mariota's almost on a trajectory of like a Trubisky. So,
I'm going to say my pick out of those three, because here's my biggest thing. They're going to have Trubisky next year. He's going to be in the roster somehow.
He'll be there. He can't not be.
He needs competition. I don't think they bring back Chase Daniel. I say bring in Mariota. Have two guys, Trubisky and Mariota, who are very similar. Let them duke it out. Give them each, competition. I think between the two of them, there's a good quarterback in there somewhere.
All I want is some kind of competition. All I want is something.
I agree.
Like not even somebody that you know is going or thinks he's going to be a starting quarterback. Somebody that just can make Mitch Trubisky a little nervous during spring training. Like he knew Chase Daniel was never going to take his job.
Exactly.
Over. Like, he was out there. He could have done anything in practice and still would have got the starting job last year. Like I like to have the little competition to make your adrenaline maybe go a little more in practice and make you a little more nervous.
Well, at the same time, though, like I don't think anybody that I've ever talked to about the Bears doubts Trubisky's work ethic. I think he's a good work ethic kid.
You hate to be the whole making. This Trubisky thing. He's a good guy. He's a great guy. He never had a problem with the off the field stuff, but the spot he was put in, where he was drafted, the guys, how well the people in front of him are doing. It's just kind of become a punchline in a way. It's been a big joke. And I think, honestly, that's kind of annoying. Also, it's on your team. But other than not panning out to be the second pick overall in the draft, good guy.
That's the thing.
Good guy. Other than that.
Good guy.
Other than that.
I think a 1-year deal maybe on Cam Newton. If you can keep Cam for 1 year, if you can just get him healthy for 1 year, but that's asking a lot.
You got to know he's going to be healthy, though. He's got a lot of injuries. He's played a lot of football.
But he's a year off, too. I mean, he's
going
to be that would be fun. I don't want to see Andy Dalton. I've heard that rumor. Don't want to see that.
No.
I think if you're going for an older QB, it's got to be Newton. And I got to be honest, I don't want Jameis Winston at all. I don't.
As much as we want,
it would be fun at least.
It would be fun. I honestly, I think it'd be kind of fun.
It would be fun, but imagine watching those 30 touchdowns. That's all fun. Then imagine watching all 30 interceptions.
If they come,
pulling your hair out 30 times,
if half of them come in the first 5 minutes of the game, then you just forget about it anyways.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, he's an interesting.
I'll take
dude.
the excitement. Honestly, I'll just take some excitement for a team that hasn't had a quarterback.
I just want to win.
What do we know? Maybe he'll turn out to be a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Maybe the people that we don't want will be the guys that turn out good because
be the best. Yeah.
Since Jay Cutler.
Yeah. Jay Cutler, man, I miss him.
I think give him a chance. Call him up, Smoking Jay.
Yeah, bring him back, Smoking Jay.
But that has been the TCF Morning Show Thursday, January 23rd. I've been joined by Mitch Prentice at Mitch R. Prentice on Twitter, Boomy at Boomy TCF. You can follow me at ZLilja, LILJA, TCF. The main page is at typical_Chicago. Instagram, Facebook. Typical Chicago fans, follow us on there. Go to YouTube, type in Typical Chicago fans. Subscribe on there. Watch our videos on there. We put the TCF Morning Show on there. We put the Typical Chicago Fan podcast on there. So watch those videos, like the videos, comment on the videos. Let us know what you think. Podcast, Apple, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcast from. Go on there. Search Typical Chicago Fans. Follow, subscribe, rate, review. Give us a 5-star rating if you would, please. Also, thank you to our sponsor, The Muddy Otter. Go to themuddyotter.com. Like I said, this beautiful mug right here is made by Mitch's wife, Hannah. The beautiful TCF logo with the Muddy Otter on the bottom. Mitch has got his mug right there. I think last time we literally got you with the one mug that is not Muddy Otter.
Yeah. Yeah,
if you want some of these products, go to themuddyotter.com. Look at all their products on there, or go to their Instagram or Facebook. Hit them up if you got some custom ideas. Also, Score Trader. Go to the Apple Store, search Score Trader, download the app. Like I said, we're going to get more into it on Monday, but they're going to start transitioning to politics. Boomy will be getting more into that. Maybe Mitch will also be getting more into that, and also Owen will be on the show to let us know more about that. Boys, anything else?
No.
Anything else?
Let's enjoy the rest of the week, boys.
You guys have a great weekend. This has been the TCF.
Stay safe.
Be careful out there. It's
supposed to snow. Yeah, stay inside. Stay warm. This has been the TCF Morning Show, Thursday, January 23rd. We love you all.
Peace.